Well, g'day guys. Welcome back to the Couch Critics. It's been quite a while since we've posted a video, so you might need a reminder that I'm Sogg and Brad's there in the yellow. So welcome back. I'm only joking. It's the other way around. Thanks for joining us. Sogg, I don't know how long it's been. It's probably been about 4 or 6 weeks. What's happened since we've last recorded a video? I went over to Europe and Asia to, enjoy some football, enjoy some much cooler weather. What have you been up to, mate?
Yeah, just had a second kid, so looking after a kid on holidays, and
Yeah.
that's good fun. Chasing my toddler around while
Mm.
my wife looks after our daughter. So yeah, it's been a bit hard to think about doing a video. So it's nice to be back. Nice
Yeah,
to
well,
be.
it'll be really exciting to see that daughter pulling on some boots for the Matildas in about 17, 18 years' time. So,
Oh, 15. She's going to
all
be
right,
in
she's going to go early. Okay, that's good. Awesome. Also, you got up to a bit of action down at Ultra Football in the off season as well with
the
all the top rated football content creators. That's why I wasn't there
Yeah,
because I
that's
wasn't good enough
right.
for it.
They waited until you left the country and then thought, yeah, now we'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, a bit of fun actually, and
Mm.
nothing too serious. There's a couple of people on the internet who get their knickers in a knot over those kind of things, and where's this person? Yeah, it's just a bit of fun, and yeah, really enjoyable, and scored a couple of goals. There were many goals scored,
Were
and
you facing Joe K? Is that how you got all your goals?
it was good to meet Joe Kay and Lockie from Coast Watch
Mm.
Football, and the lads from Front Page Football.
Mm.
JD from Sydney FC, good fella, and Newey Jets football, Lil Harry, 14-year-old, put it all together. So it was really cool stuff. Yeah, really enjoyable day, and yeah, on Unite round as well, which is good fun. We'll chat about that in a little bit as well.
Yeah, well, let's get straight into the football. We haven't talked about, obviously, football for a while because it's been some time since we put out a video or a pod. Do you want to start with the Unite round? Or do you want to talk, like, we're about halfway in the season, so we could start there, or we could start with the Unite round. What do you want to do?
Let's start with the Unite round. It's a bit of fun, something different for
Mm,
Australian football. Something, but look, whether you think it was a success on its own, way better than the Sydney Grand Finals. Like,
yeah.
even though the attendances weren't amazing, let's
Mm,
be honest, that you know could have been better. Still, like 30,000 more people than turned up to both grand finals put together. So, that's a
mm,
positive.
yeah.
Better for New South Wales, better for the A League.
Mm,
So yeah, and it was cool just to see people from all the teams kind of there and supporting, and people made a holiday of it. And I think it is the kind of thing that can grow if you
yeah.
give it space, and things like the content creators match, but other events. It definitely felt a little, particularly that the official A League side of things, a little rushed.
Yeah.
But give it time, give it some proper attention, some proper love. Could be a really cool thing. To have events around it, to have proper fan areas. Um,
Mm,
get people involved. So yeah, I think next year we'll be in Sydney again, obviously because of the 3-year deal. But after that, it's hard to take it around because unfortunately, like unlike AFL, we don't have multiple stadiums in a couple of cities that are built for football. But it could be held in Melbourne. It could be held elsewhere. Maybe not the ideal stadiums, but it could be a really fun, actually, yearly event for the A League. So I think overall it was a pass. Is better than what we had. So I think that's a win.
mm.
Obviously, you were overseas, so you only kind of got the social media experience
Yeah,
and
and of course,
saying
we all know that what's on social media, that's the true representation of the majority of the fans.
that's right.
Well, there was some good stuff you read, like people meeting up and hanging out and just chilling with other people, which is just always a good vibe. Um, like I said, like you said, I think it's got potential, but
Hmm.
needs a lot of work done off field. I think I had a bit of a say on Twitter as well that the crowds were okay. They could have been better. They could have been worse as well. And I did say, like, people saying, "Oh, what about the NRL and the AFL?" I said, let's be honest, the A League doesn't have the draw card to pull in packed out stadiums. No one in Sydney is going to pack out a game between Perth and Brisbane.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it, and that's how it is. But people in Adelaide would pack it out to go watch Collingwood and Richmond. But we don't have that draw card, and that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, I think what I'd like is if they're going to do it again next year, I want in the next couple of weeks them to set a date because I can be like, sweet, January, whatever, 13th to 15th next year. Sweet, that's when it's going to be. I'm going to put it in my calendar, particularly for those people that come from other states. They can put it in and say, yeah, I'm going to plan that. I'm going to make a week of it,
Yeah.
and real spend the time in there. But yeah, I think it was the off-field stuff. It was just disappointing. It was rushly organised. Obviously, it was a late replacement to the grand final. It's better than having that grand final deal. But hypothetically saying, if we never had the drama with the grand final, and then they brought in a Unite round, I don't know if I would have been a big fan of the idea. But it's here now. I actually probably don't mind it. I'm okay with it in Sydney. Like you said, there's not many options or other cities we can take to it that have the facilities. Sydney is probably the ideal place to have it for now. Brisbane, well, not with the state of Lang Park. Melbourne, I know you said off air before, there's potential they could take it to Docklands as well. But I think Sydney's the ideal place to have it at the moment. I don't know if it's worth having the women at the same time as well, because I think you want to try and get to as many games. In reality, you want to get to all games in the competition. And when you have the men and the women all at the same time, it's hard to get to all the games. So I don't know whether they want to do that over 2 weekends, but I think it's a cool idea that they're having them all together at once as well at the same time. So
yeah,
I
think one thing that I guess stood out to me was the off-field stuff just wasn't quite put together properly. Like there was no real organization of travel in between. Say if you want to go to a Wings match in Leichhardt and then quickly duck across to the SFS, that wasn't possible. There was no real combination of the men's and women's. The scheduling seemed a little bit off. So yeah, look, they can definitely up those kind of things. Around the stadium, there wasn't really much. There was barely any food at Parramatta on the Friday night, apparently. Some things like that, just kind of, the hotel deal that they announced, and then when people tried to book it, the hotels wouldn't accept that. So yeah, off field it needs to be better. Yeah, book it in for next year. Say this is when it's happening, and I think also some that's just it's interesting is next year. We've got Auckland coming in, and still rumours that Canberra are going to be good to go. Although the longer it goes, the less I'm confident of that. But if Canberra are in, we could go to a full away season of 26 matches next season, and then still have Unite round as a 27th. Now, some people have said, "Oh, that's the perfect, that's when you could put your third derbies." I don't like that idea because I think when you say it's a derby weekend, so Sydney play Western Sydney, that's all fine if it's in Sydney. But what if Melbourne City are playing against Melbourne Victory in Sydney? Like that doesn't work. Like
it seems like it undersells the derby.
Yeah.
Like,
that's right.
I feel like I want the Melbourne derby in Melbourne. I want that as a standalone fixture. Same with the Sydney derby, but I don't want to double up with anything. I just want it to be that.
That's right. Yeah. So I don't think that's the best idea, although it does go some way to resolving the why do we have to have 3 derbies, which I agree. Hopefully next year, this is slightly off the Unite round, but hopefully Canberra come in and next year it is just a 26 round or Unite round makes 27, but not derbies, and you just have the 2 derbies between those teams. It won't happen because the A-League wants money, so they'll find a way to get 3 derbies out of it because those matches attract more fans. So that is what it is.
And I think another thing I would like to see is a discount for members. Some people are saying, "Oh, all members should have got in free," and I'm like, well, in a perfect world that'd be fantastic, but also a business is not going to give away all those tickets for free. But I think a kind of discount for the regular fans would have been good as well. But hopefully they can work on it if this is what they're going to continue with. And I think it's a concept that can work and it's a great tradition that could last, but it's whether they want to put in. So
absolutely. Just one final thing, and maybe this is not a popular opinion. Lots of people were saying, "Oh, there's too many away jerseys for the round.
Mm,
Why aren't teams wearing their home jerseys?" But I actually think the Unite round is the perfect round for every team to wear their third kit. No one wears a home. No one is the home team. Sydney and
yeah.
Wanderers were the away team in their own stadium, so that
Mm,
members couldn't get in for free. But like that's the perfect round, I think, for
yeah.
everyone to wear their third kit and all create a Unite round kit.
Yeah.
That's
Be good
special
fun.
round. Sell the jerseys of every team at every stadium, and create a bit of fun around it. That could be a really colourful kind of weekend for that kind of thing. So I reckon that'd be fun. But that's my last Unite round
Mm,
idea for now. Yeah.
yeah. And then obviously, like I think about a week after all that United round, there was a crap ton of redundancies at the APL, and I know that news is a bit old now, but as someone that works in the media, not that kind of sports media, but I think it just always sucks to see so many people lose their job. I think in any industry, it sucks to see so many people losing their job, and really good people that really want to work the best for football. But um, it seems like the APL, and I think we always probably thought that the APL was investing way too much into keep up, and I guess at the end of the day, the right decision has been made because there's just way too much money into keep up, and this was this Danny Townsend's idea to invest that much into it, and it might just be another reason for the football public to dislike him.
Yeah. Look, I think, yeah, that's right. It sucks that people lost their jobs, and
mm,
hopefully they all move on into to good roles.
mm,
I think one of the disappointing things is just the state of football in this country. It just doesn't get consumed. Like I'm not sure why, but people are not as interested in A-League content. Newspaper kind of they don't really want it. So it was cool that Keep Up. I think the idea behind Keep Up was, well, let's invest and show how good football
mm,
media can be, and that will up the standards. And things like All Access last year was fantastic, and it really was a step up in content
yeah.
for the A leagues, but that didn't draw the financial kind of pool and the clicks
Mm.
that it should have. And maybe that's because some of the articles weren't amazing. Um, but
Yeah,
as I
I
said,
think the articles were fine. It's just maybe the amount of staff, but also
yeah,
yeah, probably too many staff doing it. And like you talked about that the All Access, that was by far the best and most exciting. I don't think anyone I saw complain about it. Like it was fantastic content, and unfortunately, it's just like it just wasn't getting the clicks. And I think the content we consume in Australian football right now is, if we want to talk about Australian football, is the Matildas and
yeah,
Ange Postecoglou, and then it's European football. People aren't consuming the A League at the level they're consuming the Premier League.
yeah.
That's a reality,
Not
and
the
it
general
sucks.
public. Yeah,
Mm. And
yeah,
so, how do we get the general public to care about the A League?
yeah.
It's $1 million question we've been asking for 20 years.
That's right.
Marquees probably help. Long term, do they help? Probably not, but I'll definitely get a few more views. So it's a bit of a conundrum, and
Yeah, yeah. So that's it. It was a great idea. Well, you could have said potentially it was a good idea to throw everything in to keep up. Maybe being a bit more conservative was right. I think it was Sean Millicamp, the CEO of the Mariners, was talking to Marty Mariner, I think it
mm,
is, who runs his pod, and essentially said the clubs think this is the right decision because it's just not sustainable, that kind of money. And so
yeah,
I hope we don't see a real drop off in quality though. Like I hope we don't see absolute radio silence in terms of articles actually covering the A League. Like we still need to have media at
yeah,
A League games and covering and doing a good job, but maybe we need to figure out a new way of doing that. And Keep Up wasn't quite the right one.
mm,
So we keep going, and there's plenty of fan-based things just like we are, trying to do their thing to promote the A-League. And so,
Yeah.
um, support the ones that you like.
Yeah. And there are a lot of fantastic community run programs.
Yeah.
Maybe not ours, but people like Coast Watch and the guys at Front Page Football. I know Joe K as well. Like those are just a few that come to mind. There's a lot of good content out there, and it really helps to get around that and support that because they're doing a great job. They're just trying to promote the comp that they love and the sport that they love. And so,
But it's our job to be pointing the hard fingers at the APL, though. This podcast, we should be getting in contact with the APL and pointing the fingers, not those award-winning no, don't worry about that.
yeah,
It's our job. It's our job. But
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
We tried to get Danny Townsend on here, but probably never saw the email.
He was already booked by some other
He was
podcast.
already swimming in his Saudi cash.
Yeah. Probably a good time to move on to the halfway kind of point of
Yeah,
the
just
league,
about.
and
Yeah.
just kind of chat. It doesn't seem. I mean, just as we say this, Melbourne City have just finished 1-0 ahead of Adelaide, so
Okay.
it's a couple of days late at time of recording. But yeah, the league looks quite open, Bradley. Like who at this point do you think can go on and win? Obviously, Melbourne Victory unbeaten so far at time of recording before Sydney FC knock them off in the
Please.
blue. And
Please.
Wellington Phoenix sit top of the league.
What
That's
a
something that
joke.
happened actually since we last recorded. We found out that the
Oh, the
rules
ladder.
changed, and that Football Manager knew that it was
Mm.
wins first and not goal difference.
Mm.
No one in the A League, including the coaches, apparently knew that it was wins first. But so Wellington Phoenix sit top of the ladder. That's the thing. Who's going to win the league at this half point?
I don't know. I don't like we could sit down and we could talk about probably 6 or 7 teams that, on their day could genuinely win the grand final. The cop out answer for me would just to be say, oh yeah, it'll probably be Victory because they're undefeated, they're up the top of the ladder. And Wellington for me, year on year out, I'm just like, how are they doing this well? Maybe I should give them credit. Like Wellington are top, obviously, Victory undefeated. The Wanderers are woefully inconsistent, but on their day are great to watch. The Mariners are actually in really good form.
Hot form. They started
Undefeated in their
better.
last 5 after that slow start. They've really come on well. City as well after a slow start. They're getting better and better. I think MacArthur's a half decent team.
Sydney have won
Sydney have,
4 of the last 5
yeah,
games.
Sydney, when they're on, they're on, but they were still pretty dreadful at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adelaide as well started well, but they've dried up a bit. And I think when you probably get to the bottom 4, you could probably potentially write those off. But then Brisbane started quite well.
Yeah.
And then
Jets.
after that
Look
8-1
okay.
loss, they just fell apart. Well, probably before when they lost Ross Aloisi as well. But yeah, I think it's really competitive, which is great to see for the league. I think like last year, you probably thought, yeah, City are looking the hot team, and yeah, they did finish the season top of the ladder. But right now, I'm not convinced by anyone at the moment. I think it's very much open amongst those top 8 teams, probably. Like that, they're
Well,
all a good shout, but
yeah.
yeah. What do you think? Is there any clear cut favorite, or is it just a bunch of team that are a chance?
Well, I think I've given up on tipping this year already because just every week. I mean, it's the beauty of the A League, right? We sometimes bemoan the salary cap, but genuinely this season it is so even
Mm.
across the board. And yes, Melbourne Victory haven't been beaten yet, but teams can nick a draw. You look at Western Sydney Wanderers who are having a great season again, and then Perth come and knock them off 1-0 in their first away win in like over a year. the Jets, can pop up and score 3 goals in a weekend.
Mm.
Apostolos Stamatolopoulos is, like the second top
Killing it.
scorer in the league. Like,
Mm.
I think genuinely it's an exciting league and it's so close. Like, the points difference from top 25 points for Wellington Phoenix down to the sixth place MacArthur is 4 points.
Mm.
Like, that's wild. And then it's only 3 points down to Sydney and Adelaide and Brisbane, just a point behind that. Like, it's incredible that there's 9 points between 10th and first.
Mm.
So with half the season left, you'd be a very brave man to put a bet on anyone.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and I think that's just been fantastic. There's no one team that has just been dominant in every game they've played that you just go, yeah, they're not losing this season, or they're not, they're going to be hard to beat. I
Mm.
think everyone looks at everyone and goes, yeah, we could have a crack at them. And
Mm.
I think that just makes for entertaining A League. Like it on field, the A League, best league in the world. Off field, we're an absolute shambles, an absolute basket case, and we're the best league in the world. So, you know, who I seriously don't know. If you like drama, if you like sport, if you like just bonkers, how do you not love the A League? I love the A League. It's what a league. uh,
It's one of a kind, that's for sure.
it's not as good as the Uzbek league though that produced 18 players for the Uzbekistan national team that drew with Australia though.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the Socceroos, brother? You went to
Yeah, I did.
Qatar and you got to see the Socceroos play against Syria. How
Yep.
was that experience? I saw your face on the TV multiple times.
Would have been beautiful. Would have broke the camera. Yeah, we were probably out now numbered. There was probably 100 of us. There was neutrals there supporting us, but genuine Aussies, there was probably 50 to 100, and then there was about 9,000 Syrians and a whole bunch of neutrals. So
Yeah.
great to beat them. It's always great to beat Syria. The grassland was looking good. There was no investigations needed. Yeah, good to get the win, but it's just woeful. Like, oh, not woeful. Like, yeah, we understand. Like, they love a low block. They're hard to break down. And to be fair, it's always hard to break down a team that puts in a low block.
Yeah.
And, we've been in Asia for close to 16, 17, 18 years now. And we know nothing's a given in Asia. We're not playing Fiji. We're not playing Samoa every week. We're playing teams that are dogged and play hard.
Yeah.
But just sometimes I think, some of our players, the way we play, it doesn't inspire me a lot. It's good to see Gethwin Jones get dropped. Come at me, Bolton fans. But he's not the only one. Like, there's a few others in there that I think, Arzi Baich, like, has he done his time? Jackson Irvine, we love the vibes, but boy, man, like, got to work on your touch. I've been
Yeah.
impressed with our centre backs, Sutar and Kai Rolls. I think they're guaranteed starters every week.
Oh,
But besides that,
yeah.
I'm not been wowed too much. I've actually enjoyed Bruno Fornaroli. He comes on and plays his guts out, but yeah, I just haven't been wowed by the team.
Yeah, look, part of me just says, like, if you've watched Australia for the last 15 years in Asia, how are you surprised by this? Like, we just got to grind out these results. We're not losing. We've topped our group
Yeah,
for the second time at the Asian Championship. Like, I think people still, Australians we're a bit too cocky. Like, we underestimate just how good Asian football is. You only have to see the quality of the like the Asian League compared to AFCON right now, and to see like just how good football in Asia really is.
mm,
Right across the board, there's strong teams. Tajikistan are in their first ever Asian Cup and they've
yeah,
qualified. You know, there's there isn't easy teams, and yes, they're going to sit and low block us, and
mm,
that's on us to get through that. But if we can nick a goal, we top the group. I take that. And it's actually in these next games, we were talking about this just before. It's not the games against your Indias that we look great. It's actually the times where we've got to play our heart out. Look at the World Cup.
Mm.
We weren't expected to win a game, and those are the games we shined in.
Yeah.
Could have done a little bit better against France, but Denmark, knock them off. Easy. Argentina, push them right to the end. So, maybe the draw looks a bit nicer for us because Japan struggled. They lost to Iraq. South Korea lost the game as well. So it's not smooth sailing for all the big teams in Asia, and it's actually worked out in our favor. We might play some of these easier teams, and if we 1-0 our way all the way through to the final, and then knock off Saudi Arabia, then I'll take it. Absolutely. Ange Postecoglou doesn't look at that Asian Cup trophy that he has and think,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a piece of piss. We saw that interview. Someone discredits it. He goes, that's a legitimate trophy. I won that thing and
Yeah.
I have to work hard for it. And so I think that's what I've enjoyed about Australia is they got the results. Have I enjoyed watching the football? Yeah,
Well, let's be honest. Have you?
10:30, it's pretty easy to go to sleep with a newborn. Um, but we're winning. I wouldn't be complaining.
Yeah. Yeah, we are winning. We've topped the group, and people saying, "Oh yeah, but we've avoided Japan until the final." I said, "Yeah, but we haven't got to the final yet." So yeah, like we could either play Indonesia or Palestine, and on paper we should be rinsing those teams. I think Palestine has just vibes. They have
Yeah,
the whole situation that's going on in their country right
they
now,
got something
getting
to play
through.
for.
That's all they have. But in saying that's a good motivator for them.
Yeah,
Indonesia, don't think they have the same thing.
hey, they got some good footballers, good technical
Yeah.
footballers. Again, you say we should rinse these teams, but
Oh,
I don't
on
think
paper we should,
one
but in
can win.
reality we won't. We should have rinsed India on paper, but
Yeah, that's right.
these nations will do the low block and it'll be hard to break down, and it's up to Graham Arnold to unlock them and the
And
players.
we've found a way in each of those games. I think I don't know, there's people who love beautiful football, and
Go
that's
watch the Premier League.
yeah, good on you. I think ugly football is beautiful. That's what makes football beautiful because you
If
just got
we
to
if
do
we
what
win
you
the
got to do.
Asian Cup, I will say, yeah, that was great.
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
if we
Like
go out on pens to Palestine, it's the worst thing ever.
people like to say, oh, if my team went out there and played like Man City and lost 6-0, I'd still be happy. No, you wouldn't. Results are what make you happy in football. Results are what matters. At the end of the day, I don't give two craps about how nicely we pass the ball in between our two centre backs and our inverted centre wing back. I care we put the ball in the back of the net and we get the 3 points and we take it and we go through to the next round. That's that's football is you win and you're the winner. So that's what I care about Australia. And at the moment we look good for that.
Mm.
We're not a beautiful team. We don't particularly well, but at the end of the day, we get the ball in the back of the net once and we're not going to concede a goal against an Indonesia or a Palestine.
You'd think not.
Okay, Harry Suter will just and Jackson Irvine will score a toe poke in the other end, and
Mm.
lovely. See you next time.
What do you think of the pen against Uzbekistan? Deserved?
The penalty that Australia won,
Yeah.
absolute. Yeah, that's terrible for Uzbekistan. That sucks. There's never a pen.
Yeah,
Never.
but
The fact
yeah.
that he keeps the ball, passes it, and the guy, then we miss a shot as
Yeah.
well.
And
That just
Yengi didn't
sucks.
even none of the players put their hand up for it. In
Yeah.
our defense, Uzbekistan should have been down to 10 men.
How good's VAR though?
The fact that VAR thought, nah, that's not a denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity. But oh yeah, that's a handball. So, I feel for Uzbekistan that for the pen, but I also don't because They should have been down to 10 men. So anyway,
Yeah, that's right. That's
it's how
right.
it goes. Some of the calls go your way, sometimes they don't. So
Yeah. Look, at the end
and
of the
Yengi was robbed of his maiden goal. No, he wasn't. That was offside, but still.
day, that's it. At the end of the day, we top the group and we move on. So I think, yeah, you can want more out of the game of football, but we're going to support Australia. We want them to win. That's what's more.
Yeah.
Some
Well,
people,
should I support the opposition to get Graham Arnold sacked? No,
well,
I'd
and
never
that's
do that. I'd
that's a
never do that.
genuine question. People, yeah, Australia can lose if Arnold. It's not good for football in this country. What's good is us winning and getting the prize
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
and the look at us. That's what's good for Australian football. You want to win trophies. You talk
Yeah.
to any player, they don't give a crap. They want the trophy.
Yeah.
They want the trophy. So yeah, none of this. Oh, I hope Graham Arnold gets sacked and we don't win the Asian. Yeah, if that's you, bugger off. Just
I've never been a fan, but if he can win us the Asian Cup, I
yeah.
still probably won't be a fan, but I'll be happy.
Hey, L'Equip's best manager of the World Cup. He's going to get best manager of the Asian Cup, and we'll have that gold.
Well, whatever it takes. Hopefully, it can be a bit prettier. It probably won't be, but that's fine. That's
Get
fine.
get Riley McGree fit, and maybe we should take him Luongo or Kieran Kunda. Bit of fun.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of things that could have been done differently, and the formation. Anyway, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not a professional coach. I'll leave it up to Graham Arnold. Anyway, so I think as we record, there's still a couple more games to be played, and once they're done, it'll be finalised who we're playing, whether it's being Indonesia. I think if Oman wins, it's Indonesia, and if Oman don't, it's Palestine. Anyway, we'll find out. We'll already know by the time this video goes live, so...
It'd be awesome. Yeah.
And if we are to beat either Palestine or Indonesia, we'll most likely be playing the Saudis in the quarterfinals. So that I think we're more than capable for the challenge. But they have old mate who used to coach Man City coaching them, I think.
Old mate, yeah.
Italian guy. What's his name?
No idea.
When Man City won that league with the last kick of the season through Aguero, that Italian manager. You know what I'm talking about?
Mancini?
Yeah, that might be it. I think he's the coach of Saudi after that fit guy moved on to coach the French women team. Anyway, I think we've had a pretty good chat here. We're starting to lose the plot here. So
Yeah.
get around to the A-League this weekend, whether it's the men or the women. Friday, February 9th, get up to Bathurst and watch the Wanderers take on Newcastle. Good luck trying to find a hotel that night because we've got a massive girls soccer preseason carnival on. So come up for the night. Get in contact. I might have a floor you can crash on as well. But honestly, get out here. It'll be good fun.
Yeah,
anyway,
excellent.
Thanks for joining us for this video. It's great to be back having a chat about some Aussie football, and we hope you enjoyed it, whether you're watching it on YouTube or listening on Spotify or whatever listening device you do have. Do subscribe and comment if you're on YouTube, and on Spotify, just leave us a review and hit us up and let us know what you thought of it.
Absolutely.
We'll see you. Well, you'll see us in the next video.
Bye.